So we hold our big toe down and then lift our 4 toes all at once. And I'm really pushing this toe into the ground. And then you're going to try and do the opposite, which I actually cannot do without great difficulty. So I'm pushing these in, and this one is just a wee bit lifted off the ground, but it really wants to pull the other ones up. But ideally, you'd be, these would be on the ground and you lift up. And it's funny because I've had clients who find one, can do the one I can't do. I can do it a little better on this side, but they can't do the other one. So you can play with those. So the FRC dorsiflexion, you're going to come in and get as much dorsiflexion as you can. So to start with, get as much dorsiflexion as you can. You're going to hold that. So dorsiflexion is closing down this angle. Then what you're going to do is push your foot, the balls of your feet into the floor. So turning on the muscles back here, trying to push your foot into the floor. Then you're going to use the muscles in the front of your shin to try to pull your foot up. And you can see there isn't much change. And then I'm going to try to hold this angle as I lift my toes off the ground. And I'm pulling as hard as I can, trying to bring the top of my foot to touch my shin. So I'll come in for the stretch. I'll push the ball of my foot into the floor. I'll pull the top of my foot towards my shin the best I can. I'll try to hold that angle as I lift the ball of my foot off the floor. This is your rectus femoris stretch with a little glide added in. So this was the rectus femoris stretch that we've started with a long time ago. And now we're going to bring our heel to our bum, but as we bring our heel toward our bum more, we're going to glide forward a little bit. Now I'm not going to glide this way to hyperextend my back. I'm going to just tilt forward as I go. So I'm bringing my heel toward my bum and gliding my body forward as I go. So you're going to do your glute bridge with your knees touching, your feet and your knees touching, keeping those knees together, pushing them together a little bit as if you're holding a piece of paper between them, and then just up and down. Don't let the knees come apart. So this is a contra bungee press. So if I'm holding the bungee in my right hand, balancing on my left leg, and then just a press. My torso should be stable. My knees should stay pointing straight ahead. For the step up, so you're going to have one foot up on a step. This is about a 14-inch, 16-inch box. But you're going to get your weight over this lead leg and then come straight up and then back down to tap, straight up, back down to tap. So resist the temptation to push off this leg. I want you just gradually building that tension in this leg and hip. Contra bungee row. So I'm holding the bungee in my right hand. I'm standing on my left leg, keeping this knee bent a little bit, nice and tall in my torso, and getting a good squeeze of my shoulder blade back as I row. This is a slightly new way to do the clamshell, and you're going to be really surprised at how much harder it is. So we're going to take this top leg and we're going to kind of telescope it. So almost like I'm trying to make this leg longer or make this knee go past my other knee. So my feet still stay touching, but I'm just reaching with this top knee, and I keep reaching as I do my clamshell. So it's like a distraction through the hip joint. This is kneeling T-spine rotation. So we're in a kneeling position, sort of a rock back position. And then you're going to come up. But again, big breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Trying to breathe into your belly. So each way. So you'll come up, breathe, and then come down. Kneeling rotation with breathing. We're going to put our hands together and we're going to reach with this hand, the bottom hand, a little bit to come right into so that the shoulder and the arm are on the floor. And if you have a little bit more flexibility, you'll probably be able to sit back a little more. And I'm reaching with my bottom hand. And then I'm just going to sit in this position and work on breathing. Work on my diaphragmatic breathing, so trying to breathe air into my abdomen. Trying to keep my spine nice and long, so not kind of get all hunched around or side crunched, but in through your nose and out through your mouth. So you're going to lie along the foam roll so that it's comes right up your spine, your head's nice and supported. You're going to bring your arms out to the side to sort of let your chest open up. And then you're going to do 3 big breaths, trying to breathe into your belly. So you're going to do 3 big breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and you're trying not to let your ribs flare or lift up as you breathe. So you'll do 3 there, then you'll bring your arms up just a little bit above shoulder height. Again, trying to relax, trying to open up your chest. 3 big breaths there, and then you'll come to arms sort of in your V position. And again, 3 big breaths there. So we're trying to teach you to breathe, use your diaphragm more for breathing and not so much your rib cage. These are a few running mechanics drills, and they look kind of funny. They look really funny, but they're good. They're going to teach you to be a little bit more efficient. They're more based on sprinting technique, but again, there is a transfer. So if you think of almost spinning your legs around, of your feet landing right underneath you and then propelling yourself along, almost like you're skateboarding rather than having a heel strike and then pulling and then pushing. So the first one is just called ankling. So we're going to keep our ankles dorsiflexed. You will land on the balls of your feet, but you don't run on your toes or sprint on your toes. That's kind of a myth. So we're just going to step up and over our ankle bone like that, but at a little running pace. So we're just making circles with our feet, keeping that ankle dorsiflex. So when you come up and over, your toe shouldn't be down. It should be up all the time. Really small steps. I think like I'm pedaling a tiny little bicycle. The next progression is a step over run. So now I'm coming up and over my knee. So before, when we did ankling, we stepped over our ankle bone. Now I'm trying to step over my opposite knee. So the first thing that happens is my heel comes up toward my bum, like that. I step over. Okay, so that's the motion that we're trying to get. My torso stays stable.